All right, everyone, welcome back to PAPO FLUENTE podcast. One more episode, we keep rolling, and today I'm not alone. I know if you listen to the last episode, you had to listen to me basically talking for 30 minutes, kind of boring. My dad told me that, Alan, you shouldn't talk that much to people, man. But I took his advice, so today I have a very special friend with me, right? So I have Anderson. You guys probably remember him. How are you doing, man?
Hey Alan, everything's pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. So, if you guys don't know, Anderson was in the first, let's call it season, right? Because when I just started with this podcast, way back, I'm not gonna tell you right now how long ago, because this is actually one of the first topics I want to talk to you, Anderson. But the thing is, he was there, like right in the beginning. He was the one of the first uh, like guests that joined the talk, and I'm always grateful for Anderson because this time again I asked him, "Hey man, do you want to go back in a podcast? I'm with this crazy idea again, like coming back with the podcast. Do you want to jump in?" And he said like, "For sure." And here it is. Like, thanks again, man. Thanks for coming back. Good.
Man, thank you again for the invitation. It's always pretty
Yeah.
good to join you. It's been a long time we don't talk,
Yeah. So
You see, I have changed a lot in this time. My has grown, it's growing gray, and you have changed nothing. I'm a bit jealous about it.
yeah, it's funny, it's funny, people keep saying like, and like here, like in Canada, when you go, like if you want to buy alcohol, you must be like 21 or older, right? And bro, like i'm
You
not
look
i'm not
14,
lying,
and
like
that's an
people
issue.
ask for my ID, and I'm like a 34-year-old dad, man. Like, why I'm showing my ID? But people ask, I'm not gonna lie. But
That's a fair question.
yeah. But the thing is, like you mentioned that it's been a long time. So do you have any idea like how long was that recording? Like you have any idea how long ago was that recording?
Wow,
If you had to
man,
guess,
the recording.
the first
I would
conversation
guess,
first.
yeah, I would guess that episode was like between 5 and 7 years ago.
All right, bro. The thing is, we recorded that conversation in like on June 15th. Today is June
June
13th.
13th. We're
Yeah.
almost completing another full year.
Yeah, yeah, but that was back in 2019, bro. Can you believe it?
Wow,
Like 5 years,
5 years ago.
bro.
Yeah, that was around my guess.
But that's crazy, right? And, and I
Such a
remember
long
that,
time.
man. Like we met at Anaya Franco shopping mall.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking in the on the
Hmm.
background, so like very noisy, and we trying to record babies
We first
crying.
tried. We first tried to record at the food court. Said, okay, we have some tables here. We can be more comfortable. Then a lot of people coming along and ordering burgers,
Yeah,
and kids is screaming, and mom's yelling back at kids.
yeah.
And we're like, oh, dude, come on, we cannot do that. Like, let's just start over. Try to get some other place. We should have
Yeah,
tried the parking lot. The parking
yeah,
lot would be less noisy.
yeah. That's actually a good idea. But the amazing thing is that like everything that Anderson just described, if you go back and listen to the podcast, you can hear everything he described. Like mom screaming, babies crying, and everything. Man, that was amazing. But
All the chaos is there.
yeah, but also great content, right, man? Because you mentioned like so
True.
many important things, like things that I also wanna like talk more about. But my first thing I would like to talk about, you also mentioned it like right in the beginning. What has changed like in your life? Can you give us some updates like after those 5 years? Like besides the beard and what else? What else, man? What are you up to?
Well, basically, Uh, I have grown 5 years older. I have more beard and less hair.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think we're all like almost 4 years together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 4 years. So I met Angelica. We got together. It got serious. We got married.
Oh,
Now
there you go.
we're
There you go.
together.
Now
Yeah,
he's a
pretty much
married man.
happily,
That's a big change. That's a
happily
big
married.
change.
Pretty big change. Happily married with two cats.
That's
I never
great.
thought I would have a cat before her. I
Yeah.
said, I want a cat. I want a cat. I want a cat. I want a cat. So then she got a cat.
How
Here
about
she's come
you?
here. Show your face. Here's
Oh,
one.
there you go. What's the name?
Athena.
Good. So you mentioned two cats?
Yeah. The other one is over there. The fat one.
Okay.
Mia. So this is Athena. This is the second one.
There you go. There you
Angelica is gonna
go,
get
man.
the other one.
Yeah, you got a family now. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, pretty much. Not pretty much like yours, like you have two human kids.
Yeah, I know. There you
The other
go.
one
Yay. Hi, how are you?
is this complaining one.
That's great.
And Angelica, of course.
Right. Good. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Good. Yeah, I was mentioning
Helen's
on Instagram like we should go also live and record a episode with Angelica soon if she wants, right? So that would be like a great
pretty
pleasure
pretty
and
sure. Pretty
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
because man, now we're back, like and one thing I talked about that this week, like I don't know how to make fancy content or like do those crazy dance to get likes and everything. But one thing that I have
Please
is like
don't.
I'm very persistent. I think that's my superpower. So I I gave a lot of thought before coming back, but once I decided, so now we're back with the podcast. So hopefully every week I can have someone to talk to me and have a conversation. And as I said, like I'm inviting Angelica, so be welcome. Like make sure like we can record an episode, and I'm sure it's gonna be a great episode. All
It
right.
is. And I'm sure she will.
Good. All right. So, one thing I also wanted to talk about is that I asked you some questions that first time we had a conversation. So, I want to see if your opinion changed, your ideas changed around that. So, I asked you like,
That's very polemic. I don't
no, it's not like those are very
I don't
no, very easy questions, not
very
anything
easy
about
ones.
politics
Okay.
or something
Okay.
like that. So it's just like I don't know if you remember the questions, but I asked you if you had like a free ticket and you could go to like any place in the whole world, where would you go? And what will be your answer today for that question?
Wow. Today, Mexico, of
Today,
course.
Mexico. Do you remember your
Today is
answer back
Mexico.
then?
I don't remember at all.
You don't have any guess?
I really don't remember. I would I think I put something in Europe.
Yes, that was it. But it was very specific, and you said Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah.
That's a place I still would like to get to meet Sweden. It must be a very interesting place, but right now, it's very important for my history with my wife to get to know Mexico,
Okay.
and that's my dream right now. That's the point, you know.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I would love to go to Mexico also. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful country, and there are so many similarities uh to Brazil, right? Like they are very friendly people. They have nice
Hmm.
beaches. They like have like a nice weather, right? So I would love to go.
Yeah,
Great food. Great food. Yeah.
hmm
And we're gonna
pretty
talk about
much.
food, right? And that's my next
Yeah, we're
question
gonna.
because I asked you, what was your favorite food? And you remember your answer back then?
I don't remember exactly what was my answer. I don't think it has changed. It's barbecue.
It is, man. That's it. Yes, it is. And we also
This
had
one
like
hasn't
a,
changed.
yeah, good. It's still barbecue. And you still have the
So,
same opinion like Brazilian barbecue is better than Argentinian barbecue?
man, they're similar.
Yeah.
They're quite similar. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because I remember back then you had recently traveled to Argentina and you had the chance to experience
Hmm.
the Argentinian barbecue. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty
It's
pretty much the
it's
same.
pretty
Both
similar.
both delicious, right?
Both really good. Yeah.
All right.
I would still put clearly Brazilian and Argentina barbecue above American barbecue.
Oh yeah, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
I've seen two ways of American barbecue. The simplest one with burgers and sausages.
Hmm.
I don't think
Yeah.
that even counts. I'm sorry,
No, no.
United States, but I don't
But
think that even counts.
yeah, but I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is the traditional barbecue here in North
Hmm.
America, not only in the US. Yeah.
In Canada as well.
Yes, man, because like we had a not party, but there was a all staff meeting at work like this week, last Tuesday.
Hmm.
And guess what? It was a barbecue. And I was, all right,
Hmm.
let's see what we're gonna have. But I had like low expectations. But that was exactly it, man. Burgers and sausages. Yeah. That was the barbecue.
So sad. So sad.
Yeah. It is what it is, right, man?
Hmm.
This is definitely one of the things that I really miss. From Brazil, it's that barbecue, and not only the barbecue, the environment, because it's
Hmm.
not only the food, right? It's the ritual,
The
like everything
the
involved,
barbecue is
right?
an event.
Exactly.
Barbecue is an event. You gotta
Yeah.
gather the people you love the most. You know, it's
Listen
not
to
anyone that
music,
you
like
invite
listen
to a
to music
barbecue.
people
Yeah.
enjoy.
Hmm. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
bro. Yeah. So, and the last question I asked you, and I don't know if you remember, but I asked you for your favorite word in English. Do you remember which word was that you said?
I'm not sure, but I think it was something like astonishing or some
That's
word
it.
that has this meaning.
That's it. That's it. You
Because
nailed.
I really
Yeah.
like the sound of that word.
Yeah, and you said pretty much the same. You like the way it
Hmm.
sounded, right? And I agree with you. It's a
Yeah.
it's a it's a good word. Both the meaning and the way it sounds, it's really
Hmm.
nice. Good. All right, man. So I have some questions. Like you mentioned food and everything, and I know you were also a chef, right?
Yes.
That's good. So maybe my next visit to Brazil, man, I need to make a stop, you know, like have some good food,
Come by.
see my good
Come
friend,
by.
and check
Pretty
it out,
much.
right?
You come to my house, we'll have a barbecue.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's good, man. I'm down. I'm down. All right.
Pretty,
So
please come.
good. So tell me a little bit like when did it start like this passion for cooking? Because I remember back then I I wasn't I'm not sure if you already started that journey, but tell me a little bit more about it. Like how did you get interested in becoming a chef and like this passion for cooking? So what's the idea? What's the story?
Actually, the point was during the beginning of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
like all our minds changed. We were all going crazy.
Yeah.
I was mainly working at a medical device company. So we build like patient monitors, oximeters, and so on. While people were unfortunately dying, people were sick, hospitals were getting full, people were getting laid off in like huge companies. my company was having like a bigger workload because we had to build like more equipment to sell, and I was just going crazy with that. I was
Mm-hmm.
still living with my parents,
Yeah.
and it was getting like quite stressful. I couldn't work from home to be safer. I had to leave to work every day. I saw some people at my job getting COVID, and I was like, that's really disturbing because I have to come here every day. We were like wearing face masks all the time.
Yeah.
And amidst all that stress, one thing that got me some peace was cooking at home. So I was looking for some recipes and learning something different. And in that time, that's what brought me peace. So I met a friend of mine who had been, uh, I mean, not she wasn't my student, but her kids were my students.
Mm-hmm.
And she was taking a cooking course. And says, "Hey, you should take it. I see your Instagram. I think you had you have the hang of it." I said, "I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Maybe for me it's a bit too much." So first I took two courses, like artisanal hamburgers. I said,
Nice.
maybe it's easier. I tried, and the teacher during the course said, "Hey, you should take like the full chef course. You'll have the hang of it. I think you should try." Then I said, "Okay, uh, I need something to bring me some peace of mind, and I actually like it. Why not?"
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Then
great,
I
man.
started the course, and cats are crazy.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry.
And that's how I started.
Nice, man. Yeah, I like the way you mentioned that. Like, it's somehow it was a strategy to cope with that stressful situation, right? Like everyone was
Hmm.
going through challenges, and it was crazy. I remember, man. And you mentioned that about cooking. I Both me and my wife, we cook at home. So personally, I would say I enjoy more cooking than her, right? So I'm not saying that I cook better than her. No, no. But I'm
You
saying that
enjoy
I
the
enjoy
process of
more. Like,
cooking more than she does.
yeah, like it's something that I like, and it's something that I think uh I always I've always seen my mom doing that, and the way she prepared things with all that love and caring, and at the same time, like, I got what you said, like when you're doing it's so relaxing, it's like a meditation almost, right? Because you are
Mhm.
so focused on making things work and combining all those ingredients, right? So it's like an art, right? And I'm
Yeah.
really happy that you decided to dedicate like some part of your life to that, so it's really good. And I've seen some of your work, like I follow you on social media, and I saw like you're like preparing a big piece of steak and talking about like, oh, look at this, like, is this the perfect uh what is that? It's the perfect, not point, perfect.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that in English.
I don't know either, man. It's the perfect steak, you said. Look
Let
at
me get
that.
some
And
help.
yeah.
Ponto da
And
carne. I'm checking with the third teacher here.
it's so good. It's so good, man. But I mean, like, it's perfect. The way you said, "Oh, look at that," is the perfect steak. And from what I saw, that was really good. That was really perfect.
Good. And let me ask you something for you who is no longer living in Brazil.
Yeah,
For you, cooking is a habit that makes you feel closer to Brazil, to your family somehow or not?
bro, 100%, 100%.
Really?
First of all, if you try to follow the North American diet, what do you think I'm gonna eat every day?
Mac and cheese?
You know, you know. What else? Go on,
Please
go
don't,
on.
man. Please
You
don't.
know. Yeah, man. I mean, it's something that uh how can I put that? I gotta be careful to what I say here, but uh I mean, like, you can find Mexican food, you can find Chinese food, you can find Thai food, you can find Japanese food here, like pretty much everywhere. But like if you look at North American food, that's what you said. Like you can find mac and cheese, you can find burgers, and I mean, I cannot eat that every day, right? So I make sure like we eat rice and beans at least three or not, if not every day, because my daughter, she loves pasta, right? So at least once a week we gotta have pasta. And Fridays is like pizza. It's like our tradition. So since Brazil, right?
See.
So Friday night it's pizza night, right? But I make sure we cook like rice and beans every single day. And for the kids, it's also important, right? Because it's been almost 3 years, and I think it's important for them to keep those roots, right? Like, no, oh, this is how we eat in Brazil, and we can find rice and beans here pretty easily. Uh, some grilled cheese, some steak, of course. Uh, Last time we went to Toronto, we got some farofa, right? So we got like 3 packs of farofa and brought home. Like, make sure, like, okay, kids, this is farofa. You gotta try. Oh, that's amazing. That's delicious. Remember that. Like you can keep those memories alive, right? So as you said, like for sure, man, cooking is a way that I use to stay connect uh, to Brazil, and also every time I'm cooking, I'm listening, right? I'm listening to music.
Mhm.
So I'm listening to some Brazilian music for sure, you know?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Ever feel?
Lately I've yeah, go ahead.
No, no, sorry. Please go on.
No, no, lately I've been listening a lot to Djavan, and I was telling him, man, I love this guy. And yeah, I don't want to cry right now, but the thing is, I was telling my wife, I've been listening to Djavan like for almost 1 hour and a half, and I couldn't find any bad song. You know what I mean? Like
Djavan is really good.
all good songs, bro. And I was like, wow.
There's one point I don't understand about one specific song of Djavan, and maybe you got it in a different way, but I don't think that's really a compliment. I don't remember exactly what the name of the song is, but he's talking to a woman in a romantic way. He said, everything
Okay.
God has made thinking of you. He's made the Milky Way, he has made the dinosaurs. And I said, hey, if you were the inspiration for dinosaurs, that's not really a compliment.
Ah, man. Yeah. I mean, they were amazing creatures, right? Not so pretty
Yeah,
though. Not so pretty though, but they were amazing
that's the
creatures.
point. Yeah.
Maybe that's the point. Yeah.
But you're not gonna get to your wife said, hello, my T-Rex. Oh,
No
sorry.
way, no way, no way. Only
No, no,
only
you're
if you
gonna.
wanna only if you wanna sleep on the couch. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
man. Yeah, there you go. So this is a good topic that I also want to talk to you about music, man. So tell me about music, how music impacts your life, how do you use music in your daily life? For me, it's very relaxing as well. As I told you, like when I'm cooking, I'm listening to music. Before something important, I also try to listen to some music just to relax a little bit. So how does you use music? And also, I know you play some instruments. If you want to also talk about it, go ahead. So how is music like in your life? How does it look like?
Wow, man, it's been a long time I don't play instruments,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, but at the time we had the last talk. I had a lot of instruments. I had like 2 or 3 guitars, electrical guitars. I had a bass as well. I've had a cello also,
Good.
but as I said, I focused on cooking and some different things. And I'm not so focused on music anymore. I still like it. Now I sold most of my instruments and I have one guitar that I
Okay.
seldomly play.
Okay.
uh, and I play when I when I when I'm relaxed and I have nothing to do. And how do I use music? It depends on the music, actually. There is some music I use at the gym to work out.
Mm-hmm.
There's music I use on the bus on my way to work to relax, to get my mind off something.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other specific music I use to focus when I have some hard job to do. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it varies, right? Like depending on the contest, right? On
yeah.
the like
Hmm.
what you're about to face, right? I really like
Hmm.
to listen to some like happy songs or like more animated songs right in the morning just to get some energy up. I really like that. But as you said, like
Hmm.
for example, I love samba, and but I don't listen to samba when I'm working out, because it's a different
Hmm.
mood, it's a different energy, right? So you need something more like to make not angry, but more uh in the zone. You know what I mean? Like more
Hmm.
let's go, let's get it done, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm playing soccer here, right? So and I think this is gonna be my last season. I will retire from soccer
Hmm.
just because my back is
Really?
killing me. So I'm getting old,
Wow, dude.
Anderson. I'm getting old. So r- before every game,
Athletes retire early.
yeah, right. You know that. So
Hmm.
I might
That's
find
true.
a different sport, but not soccer anymore. I will still coaching soccer, but not playing. That's what I think. That's the
Hmm.
plan. But let's see what happens. But anyways, before the games, I like to listen to
Try
some.
football. You can be a kicker.
We're gonna talk about it, right? We're gonna talk about it, right? And I want to
Let's.
clarify a
Let's.
very important point. Which one is the real
Uh,
football, right? But this is
hmm.
for later. Save it for later. But
Okay.
anyways,
Okay.
uh, yeah, I like to listen to some angry music, like I don't know, man. Like just you. I remember you mentioned Eminem, like in our first talk. I love
Hmm.
listening to Eminem, man, before a game, just to get ready. Like those
Hmm.
like 8 Mile songs, and like I love that shit. I love it. Yeah, so good.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, you feel like, oh, I'm ready to kill, man. in a in a hypothetical way, right? But anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's talk about football then, man. Let's talk about football because I know
Football.
you did some collab with Angelica, right? Helping like on her page, like just to talk about football. I gotta be honest with you, man. I like to say American football just because, right?
So do I. That's the right
Okay,
term.
all right. We
I
found some common
totally
ground here.
agreed.
All right, good.
Totally agreed.
Yeah, because man, I don't know anything about American football. To be honest with you, I
Hmm.
lived in the U.S. for like almost 2 years, but I haven't watched a full game of American football. I haven't played, never played American football.
Hmm.
But I mean, I love sports, and I love the way some of the athletes dedicate to that sport. Like Tom Brady, for
Hmm.
example. Like I think he's like a great example of an athlete should be. What an
Hmm.
athlete should be. But tell me a little bit how this passion for American football started, and how good, and how I think you understand pretty much everything, right? Because I don't understand the rules and the dynamic of the game. So if you want to talk a little bit,
Hmm.
how you got interested, how does the game work?
Hmm.
And I think they're going to Brazil, right? Am I right? The NFL?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
NFL is coming to Brazil.
All right, man.
And
Talk
I'm gonna
about it.
complain about it right here. I'm gonna
Okay.
complain.
You can if you want. Go ahead. What's the
I'll
situation?
complain, man. I'll complain because
What's going on?
no. Now let's go part by part. How did I get
Oh,
into liking American football?
yeah.
Uh, I mean, before that, first of all, as we agreed, we have a common ground.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you that it doesn't make sense to call this sport just football. It's simple. It's a simple rule: football, and that's it. So we
yeah.
know what football is. Football is what Ronaldo plays, is what Messi plays. Okay,
There
Tom
you go.
Brady is some other different
There you
thing.
go.
So that's
There you go.
American football that comes more from rugby than from football.
I wish I
We
could
should
high
call it
five you
American
now, man.
rugby as well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
It should be American rugby, but that's not the name they have. Anyways,
Yeah.
how did I get into that? A friend of mine was already watching American football, and he said, "Hey, Anderson, I think you're gonna like it." I said, "Man, I don't know. I see some flashes on the internet. Like I see some people almost getting killed because they run." And I said, "I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm gonna like this sport." So he said, "Okay, just watch this game because this is the most important game of the season. There's the Super Bowl,
Oh, that was the
and
Super
you
Bowl.
watch it. It was the Super Bowl between
And you remember when was
the
that?
I don't remember what the year was. I remember it was between the Denver Broncos, Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
That was the first game I've ever watched. It was like, that's the Super Bowl. If you don't like this game, you're not gonna like this sport. I said,
Exactly.
okay, I'm gonna watch it. That makes sense. It's the final game, the most important one. Theoretically, the two best teams of the league are in this game, so why not? So I watched the game. I said, hey, that's interesting. During the transmission, they are always like explaining some rules for you to understand what's going on. So, I mean, at the first 10 to 20 minutes, it makes no sense at all, but they started explaining and said, okay, so this is going to happen. Now this is going to happen. You
Mm-hmm.
start to pick some parts of the game to understand, and it starts to get interesting, at least for me. I understand not
Okay.
everyone is going to like it. If you're into football, and by football I mean soccer,
Yep. Yeah, they call it soccer here.
that's yeah, that's a much simpler game. You know, soccer is a very simple sport. You start watching in the first 5 minutes, you understand where each team is going, what's going on. You can understand when a foul happens, when a
Mm-hmm.
foul doesn't happen. It's very
Mm-hmm.
clear.
Yeah.
And in football, it gets much harder. So I watched this game. I said, okay, it's interesting. And in the next season, I started watching the regular season games. And I said, okay, it's interesting. I was learning more and more. And I started understanding how the game works, understanding the strategy the team takes. I understand now they have different attack and defense and special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And this strategy got me, you know.
Yeah.
That's the point. There's a bit of a chess game in the
Yep.
midst of sports because you have a lot. It's similar to an RPG where
Mm-hmm.
the teams take turns to play.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's interesting. That's something I don't have watching soccer.
Yeah. Are there
There's always
any?
Neymar pretending to be a foul when,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, I'm hurt. It's carnival. I'll be taking the treatment in Brazil. I was
Yeah.
just sick
Yeah.
of that, and you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I got you. But this is like how Americans see sports in general, right? Like they're very
Mhm,
committed to the sport. There is this work ethic. Like we have
mhm,
a lot to learn from them. Like hands down, we are the most talented players in the world when it comes to football or soccer. But we've seen
we
that
were.
talent is not enough anymore. Talent is not
I,
enough
I
anymore.
I would put that verb in the past. We were the most talented in soccer. I don't believe that right now we can have something comparable to the two Ronaldos we had, for example.
Hmm.
I don't think we have anything like that. Vini
Yeah.
Jr. is the closest thing we have to that.
Yeah. I mean,
To
like,
you know.
yeah, it's we can argue on that, and that's
Hmm.
okay. But the thing is, like, yeah, because I
We
think
agree
it's
to disagree.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, as you said, right? Like soccer is a very simple sport, but at the same time, things are like have been developed in a level that it's way beyond talent, right? When we talk about
Hmm.
like raw talent, you know what I mean? Like skills or the ability to control the ball or the creativity
Hmm.
aspect of the game. I think when I talk we're the best, I'm talking about that. But that's one
That makes
little
sense.
fraction. That's one little fraction of the game of soccer or
Hmm.
of the game of football, right? So there are
Hmm.
so many other aspects like intelligent or IQ. Today they call it IQ, tactics,
Hmm.
strength, what else?
Discipline.
Discipline. Man, there are so many other things that we are so behind, so
Yeah,
behind. So
pretty
that's
much.
that's what I'm saying. You know, like if we pick like raw talent. Okay, Brazilians, hands down. But that's one little fraction. So you don't win games anymore just with talent. Like yesterday,
Hmm.
like last night, we just had a game like Brazil and USA, 1-1, ridiculous. Like if you see like man, what's going on? This is
Pathetic.
this is not Brazil, man. This is not Brazil. But actually, it is. But there's the thing, like the game developed to a point that talent, like alone, is not enough anymore, right?
Hmm.
But anyways, we're not gonna fight or argue about it. But my question is,
No, pretty much.
do
I totally agree with you.
yeah, but
I totally agreed.
are there any similarities between football or soccer and American football that you see, like in terms of the game, the way they play the game? You mentioned the kicker. You said,
Wow.
"Oh, Alan, you can be a kicker." Is that something
Mhm.
similar?
No, because actually there are some plays. If we start like explaining how the game works, it's gonna take hours and hours, and I'm not
Okay,
gonna be able to explain it clearly. But there are some plays that you have some guy. There's one specific person that kicks in the team that
okay,
they kick the ball to the field goal. That's the You
okay.
have the goal post, and the ball has to go over the place to enter the goal post.
And how many points the team gets if they score? If they score,
If
what is the name?
if it's a yeah, if it's a field goal, then it's 3 points.
Three
Yeah,
points. And if
three
it's a
points.
touchdown,
If it's a touchdown, 6 points,
six.
and nav 6. And after the touchdown, the team has two different options. They can have an extra touchdown where they score 2 more points, or they can kick an extra point where they have one extra.
Okay. Oh, I think I got it now. And have you ever played the game yourself? Like, have you ever played or tried?
Not in pads. Not in pads. No, I have
Okay,
played
just
flag football.
oh, flag football. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
name.
I have played flag football, which is the softest version because I really don't want to get hurt. That's the
Oh
truth.
yeah,
I know the sport the
yeah,
sport is quite hard, and I don't want to get hurt to that point. So I played flag football. It's very fun. It's quite
yeah,
fun. But it's been years I have played it. I need to find some place to play it
yeah.
around
It is
my home.
it is quite popular here also, like among the kids and youth, and also some
Hmm.
people play football here. In my city, they
Hmm.
have a team here. Uh, but I would like to try. I would like to give it a
The
try. As you said,
CFL,
like say that again. Sorry.
the CFL, Canadian Football League.
Yeah, they do have a Canadian Football League. Yeah, yeah. I think The Rock played for this league before he decided to retire from football and become an actor. Did you know that? The Rock, the
No,
actor,
I
the
didn't know
famous
that.
actor. Yeah, he played for
Oh,
CFL. Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. There is a very
Wow.
interesting. Yeah, there is a very interesting talk when he shares like because he has a company, like a production company called 7 Bucks,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason the company has this name is because when he left the team, because he was fired, the coach basically told him, okay, you are not like you're not gonna make it, so you can go home, you're dismissed, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, before he went home, or when he got home, he checked his pockets or his like savings, and he had like literally $7, like $7. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
he started a company with this name, 7 Bucks, seven
Mm-hmm.
bucks
Very
productions or something like that.
symbolic.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would like to try. And as you said, it seems like a very strategic uh, game. It reminds me of Capture the Flag. In Brazil, we call it Rouba Bandeira or something like that. Have you
Mm-hmm.
played that as a kid?
Somehow, yes, I
Yeah,
have.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And here they play Capture the Flag, which is basically the same game. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
interesting, like the way you need to like. It's not like you plan as you play. You actually have some time to stop and make like some strategy, and then you go back and then
Mm-hmm.
you like implement that strategy, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. Yeah, good.
Yeah, yeah,
So
pretty much.
NFL is coming to Brazil. So tell me about it. Are you watching? Are the prices absurd?
Yeah, man. And if I was coming to Brazil, the prices are quite high. And the main point is I've been complaining that with Angelica for weeks
Oh yeah,
because they have opened the tickets. First, they had a pre-sale only for clients of a bank that sponsors the game,
that's bullshit.
right?
Yeah,
Those tickets were sold out in 3 hours. The pre-sales tickets, and today they opened the tickets for sales for the general groups.
because the thing is, what if those clients are not NFL fans, but they just buy
Mhm.
the tickets just to resell it like for a more expensive price, right?
That's what they did. They're gonna do
Oh
pretty
my
much.
gosh.
I'm pretty sure about it.
Come on.
Or are companies that are buying it just to like give to influencers and so on.
Yeah. People that are not really passionate about the game, but they are
Hmm.
just wanna like take advantage of
They,
the hype, right? Because I think this is gonna be the first time NFL comes to Brazil. So it's gonna be
yeah,
huge, right?
hmm,
So everyone
huge.
wants to be there, even people that
Hmm.
have no idea how the game is played.
Hmm. Pretty much. Yeah,
And they're going where the game is gonna be, where they're hosting the game.
dude, they're going to your home. They're going to Itaquera,
No
Corinthians
way,
Stadium.
really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my
On
gosh,
September
that's
6th.
bro, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh man, that's good. So they're going to Corinthians arena.
Yeah,
That's
coming
good.
here to Corinthians Arena on September
That's great.
6th. We're gonna have Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles.
So it's gonna be two games or one game?
One game,
Oh, just one game?
just one. Yeah, just
It
one here
is
in Brazil.
one game in Brazil, so they're not going to Rio or any like
No,
just
only this
Itaquera.
one, only Takeda.
Man, that's great. That's great. I miss my place, bro. To be honest, like I think about I think about it like on a daily basis, like sometimes I just
Mhm.
miss, like I tell my wife sometimes, oh, like imagine like today's Friday, I would go to the square just to smell that street
Mhm.
barbecue, listen to some
Mhm.
forró going, you know what I mean? Like looking to some people
I
coming
guess.
and going, man, just
Uh-huh.
the
It's
chaos. I miss that, bro. I miss that.
it's
Yeah.
a, it's a totally different environment.
Oh my gosh. It like Friday night here, like it's dead. Like you go on the street, there is nothing going on. Like it's good.
Really?
Somehow it's good. You have this kind of tranquility, peace, but
Hmm.
sometimes you get tired of it, right? So I
Hmm.
sometimes I tell her, oh, I wish I could go to that square, you know?
You need to see people.
Yeah, like my people, you know what I mean? Like
I
people
get it.
similar to me, like yeah. But anyways, I don't want to
I
cry, man. I
totally
don't want
get
to
it.
cry. We better stop this talk. but but anyways,
Feel
man.
free to cry, bro.
No, it's all good. So one topic that you mentioned in our first conversation, and I was amazed by this topic, and it's something that I kind of look up on the internet and try to learn more a little bit, was the different types of intelligence. You remember that?
I don't remember talking
You
about
don't
that.
remember about it?
No, I
Be-
remember this topic as a whole, but I don't remember we had talked about it.
yeah, because we are talking about like
Hmm.
how difficult it seems for some people to learn and speak English, and
Hmm.
how easy it seems for other on the other hand for some other people to learn and speak, right?
Hmm.
And you're telling
Yeah,
me, oh, Alan, come on, man. That's because there are some different types of intelligence. So people learn things
people learn in
differently.
different ways.
A-
Hmm.
And not only that, right? Some people, they have more, let's say, it's easier for them to learn languages, while for others, it's
Hmm.
easier to learn math or logical things, right? So,
Yeah, pretty much. Mhm.
yeah, talk more about it, man. Like what type of intelligence you consider yourself to have, because I'm trying to figure that out, how intelligent I
Wow.
am, and I have no idea, man. Because sometimes I consider
Hmm.
myself kind of creative. I I would say like I can improvise fairly well,
Hmm.
but I'm not logical at all, man. Like at all. Like
Hmm.
my wife is so logical, and on the other hand, I'm so messed up. Like how do you
Hmm.
consider yourself, like
Maybe I don't
when it
think you
comes
should
to the
consider
types of
your.
intelligences?
Hmm. But firstly, I don't think you should consider yourself like confusing or disturbed.
Yeah.
Maybe as you said, you have a somewhat like creative mind.
Yeah.
You know, we have a problem when it comes to like these types of intelligence
Hmm.
because I know there are like real IQ tests that are taken by psychologists, but the majority we see on the internet are tests that are taken based on logic.
Hmm.
So if you're not good in logic, and I tested her logic and said, hey, you're not intelligent because you're not as logic as I am, it's not fair.
Hmm.
But if we need to like write a song, compose a song based on this talk we're having, maybe we're gonna compose something beautiful, and I'm gonna compose a big pile of shit because I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
My point basically is that what we are taught from kids to call talent should be called intelligence.
That's good.
That's the point. You're good at math, if you're good at music, if you're good at, I don't know, at cooking, if you're good at giving advice, understand? I have a degree in engineering. I would be a terrible psychologist because I'm not good at giving advice to people.
Hmm.
I can listen to people. I can say, yeah, that sucks. That's pretty much what the answer I can give them most of the time. I'm not good at wrapping up information and giving some good advice.
Yeah, right.
That's what good psychologists can do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
uh, that's quite
that
complex,
yeah, it
actually.
is, but that's why I love that topic, man. Like that was one thing that I brought for life. Like every time, like when I remember that conversation, and when I see something, like I see you post something, I remember like of you, and I think, oh man, the types of intelligence, that was something that Anderson taught
That really
me.
got you.
Yeah, man, and that was amazing. And the other thing, like going to our next topic, because I was thinking about asking you, how is English in your life today? How are you using English? Like any plans for like English in the future? You mentioned that you're not teaching anymore. Like back then you mentioned that, but I'm curious to know like how English is being useful as a tool for you, like those days. Like how have you like taking benefit of learning and speaking English fluently?
Actually, I'm still not teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't intend to go back to teaching, actually. Maybe
But you
things
got
change, but
but you got married to an English teacher, man. Was that planned or? Oh.
no, I didn't plan to marry an English teacher specifically. No, I
Okay.
didn't aim to a profession. That doesn't make sense at all.
Okay.
Yeah. But how I use English, actually, right now I'm working at an international company.
Good.
So I use English when I need to talk to some people in other countries.
That's great.
Depending on the country. Right now, I still talk to Angelica sometimes that I feel like my Spanish is going better than my English, and that disturbs
Oh
me a
yeah.
little because I'm most of the time talking to my partners in Mexico and Argentina and Colombia. And
Okay.
sometimes I talk to other people in China, in Slovakia, in Germany, in the USA as well.
That's great.
So
And
I'm
how do you?
I'm navigating amongst these three languages. Sometimes Portuguese, sometimes Spanish, sometimes English.
And the good thing is that you you have the chance to experience different accents, right? Like how do you see that? Like when you talk to people from China, obviously it's different when you talk to people from Germany, right? So you have the chance, because this is the thing with teaching English, right? So we are so used to teach and learn the American standard English, right? But English is real in real life. It's a whole different ball. It's a whole different game, right?
Totally different.
Yeah.
And actually, why still while teaching when we were at that school, I was really glad we found some teachers that were more inclined to a British accent
Hmm.
because there's a different way of speaking that I wasn't used to.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you have like all the teachers, like most of them with a somewhat American accent because we have a Brazilian accent coming together.
Oh yeah, for
You know,
sure.
I can't I can say I have an American accent. That would be a bit too
Yeah.
much. But that's what we try to have, and we have some others that bring some different baggage.
Oh
Some
yeah.
different learnings, and that's interesting.
Yeah,
And
man, we
speaking to
got to.
people from other countries
Yeah.
makes things much different because we as Brazilians, we know when a Brazilian person makes a mistake and we know why. We can try to say, okay, I understand what you're saying, but that's not how it's said in English.
Yeah.
And when someone from Germany makes a mistake, I said, okay, I really don't understand it because I have no reference in German language for that. I have no
Man, that.
reference in Chinese to understand your mistake. So please, can you repeat that? I really don't
Yeah.
understand. Maybe the accent has something really different that we don't understand. It gets like really, really difficult.
Oh yeah.
But we get used to it.
Exactly.
As we learn from people, they adapted to our accents, we adapted to theirs, and things go smoothly.
Yeah, and that what makes a competent speaker, right? Being able to communicate to anyone, like from
Hmm.
anywhere, different accents. Like you gotta be ready for that, right? So that's what I try to say. Like every
Hmm.
time I have an opportunity to talk about English to some people, I say, man, come on. The books are important, the lessons are important, but you don't need to get like so attached to this accent or this way to speak English because as you said,
Hmm.
right? So we're gonna talk to a guy from Germany. The way he build the sentences
Hmm.
is different, like
Yeah,
comparing to the way
because it's
I do.
culturally inclined.
Exactly, and there is
Hmm.
the way their brain operates in their native language, right? And that
Hmm.
influences
Yeah, pretty much.
the way they speak English, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why I'm very proud of my accent. And when I say this is a Brazilian English podcast, and people say how Brazilian English, man,
Truly.
there is no such a thing as Brazilian English. Of course there is, man. I'm
Yes,
from
there
Brazil
is.
and I speak English, so I speak Brazilian English.
That's Brazilian English, pretty
And if
much.
I want to be even more specific, I speak Itaquera English, right? So because this is where I'm from, so deal with
Yo,
that.
man.
All right, bro. I think, to be honest, I think I stole so much of your time, and I don't want to like
Not at all.
uh
Not at all.
keep. No, yeah, but it was like great, and I told you like we could do something around 45 minutes. So we've been here like for 56 minutes. And that was amazing, man. That was really nice to see your face again and have the chance to
Yeah.
talk to you again. And again, thank you for accepting my invite and like being in the podcast one more time. So I just want to wrap up like asking if you have any final messages to the audience. Of course, like not 5 years from now, right? Because I think that it took too long for us to have another conversation. But I really hope we can get in touch more often, and not only for podcast conversations, but like on like more often we can talk and share some
Sure,
experiences.
let's.
But anyways, do you have any final messages to the audience? Anything you really want to talk about or share with the people who are listening to this conversation?
Oh, man, final message brings like a lot of responsibility.
That's a good
Uh,
one.
and mostly because you have changed the idea of the podcast. First one was more like a teacherly somehow podcast. We were talking about strategies to learn English and
Yeah,
so on. And now we just pretty much we talked about life, things we like,
yeah,
So if you're listening to PAPO FLUENTE and you're learning English, just keep going on and enjoy the process.
that's great, man. That was amazing. Yeah, and as you said, right, we're just trying to have some conversations. The idea of the podcast now is not like we're not trying to teach you anything. It's more like you have an opportunity
Hmm.
to practice your listening skills and of course improve your
Hmm.
English overall. And as Anderson just mentioned, right, we gotta be used to different accents. You gotta be used to
Hmm.
listening to different people talking to you. So I think this is a great opportunity for you if you're learning English. If you're learning English, I appreciate your time and your audience. Anderson, social media, man. Do you want to share with people your profiles or anything like that?
Sure. You have like my main profile. It's the Anderson Santos. And my cooking profile that I need to update and put more thing over there. That's
Please.
chef.anderson.santos.
All right, good. Chef.anderson.santos.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm following. And to be honest, I'm waiting, man, for recipes. Come on, bring them on, bring them on. Like
I
do
need to
some,
share more, man. I
yeah,
need to
share
share
more
more.
recipes, and we can try. We can try at home.
Sure.
All right, Okay, guys, so that was
Adapting
it.
North American barbecue.
Oh, no, no. Forget about it. Forget about it. All right. All right, Anderson, my man. Thanks again, man, for being on the podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you one more time. And you guys listening, thanks. And I see you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.